the last month where Hampton has had a 3-game road trip. But then they will end up their schedule with 4 straight home games. Tonight, then Saturday against Hofstra, and then a couple of games next week with Stony Brook and Wilmington. And then they end the year on the road against Drexel in Philly and against Townsend.
I mean, it's a good chance here for this Hampton team to really get in a rhythm going into tournament time. Of course, I have 2 away games after, but still a really good time to kind of carry that rhythm to those 2 away games.
And then the CAA tournament in the nation's capital. So this is it, the last homestand of the year for the Hampton Pirates. Here's Hargrove working against Mullen, and then Panoff on the 3-point attempt. Drexel another opportunity. Kobe McKee with the offensive rebound for Drexel. Inside to Butler and the rebound to Farrakhan. That was a point of emphasis for Coach Thomas leading up to this game, defending the glass.
And that's 2 things he's talked about, defending the glass and defending the 3-point line, things he talked about all through this season.
DJ will spot up a 3 over Panoff. And the rebound to Jason Drake. Kind of like the point guard for this team, but can score. And he just did as he got the friendly roll. A 41% 3-point shooter this season. Hits for his first from downtown, and Drexel's on the board.
And Drexel so far leads this series 2-1. A somewhat short series. Hampton only been in the CAA a few years now, but a series that we'll see for a while.
Farrakhan missed his first shot. Rebound to Butler. Drexel won last year's meeting by 34. But Hampton, in their first year in the conference, they knocked off Drexel right here at the Convocation Center, 75-72. Hargrove working against Mullen. Shot clock is at 10 for McGee. The give and go to Hargrove, and Drexel has started off with 5 straight against Hampton's defense. Now, last week we saw the slow start against Northeastern, but they rebounded with 2 wins on the road as Farrakhan drills his second shot, coming off a 28-point outing against Northeastern on Saturday in that win, 84-75. McGee could not hold on to that high pass from Butler, and Drexel turns it over for the first time. Just underway here in Hampton, 5-2 Drexel. Dragons scored the first 5 points of the game. Hampton looking to respond, long from long range. Butler hits the floor, and Drexel now looking to run. Here is Drake guarded by Beal, a step back 3. Farrakhan clears his second board already.
And that Beal and Drake matchup can be a really interesting matchup throughout this game. 2 guys that can really create spaces. Beal's going to do very similar to himself, but Drake's been able to create space for his shot. And then Beal, you saw right there, able to create space for his shots. 2 really good shot creators for themselves.
Beal with his 47th made 3 this season, 16th best in the CAA and made 3s this year as Hargrove misfires on his jump hook. Hampton has scored the last 5 and now looking to take the lead. Here's Long working against Panoff. Hargrove comes up with a block and out of bounds to Drexel as Long touched it last.
Yeah, that first time he lost possession made it very difficult for him to try to finish on that other side. Hargrove was in perfect position to get that block there, and Hampton still tied here.
Hargrove is the team's leading shot blocker, and he has the 3rd most blocks in the conference. That was now his 44th block of the season as Hampton comes up with a trap, resulting in a turnover, and DJ on the other end misses the layup. McGee with the rebound. Drake going up against Mullen and scoops it in. Off-balance layup for Jason Drake, the transfer from Butler Community College by way of Cleveland State, gives Drexel a 2-point lead.
That was just a pretty move there from Drake, able to kind of make a move right into the Euro step.
Farrakhan, long, Mullen for three. Got it. Mullen from downtown. That is only his 12th made three of the season. We saw that late last year, his ability to shoot the long-range shot. Gives Hampton their first lead.
Yeah, he really developed that over the season last season, and good to see that he still kind of kept that there. That was
Kobe McGee, pretty layup inside, and Drexel retakes the lead by one. Johnson. Beal has it, guarded by McGee. Tried to split the double. Now here's Mullen inside against Hargrove. And the rebound to Shane Blankney coming in, wearing number 4. The 6th man on this roster for the Dragons. There's that matchup you were talking about, Kyrie with Drake and Farrakhan. And then they have a switch as Hargrove goes inside against Mullen. And Mullen vacuums in his second rebound.
Yeah, Farrakhan's in that group as well. Just players that can really create off the dribble. And Farrakhan showed, against Northeastern, his ability to do that.
We've already gone past the under 16 timeout. Still action going on with Drexel leading by 1. Here's DJ with the step. Hargrove with a partial block. DJ an offensive rebound. Out to Mullen. A spot up 3. Knocked it down. Kyrese Mullen now with 6. And Hampton has a 2-point lead.
And Kyrese Mullen, he's not a guy you want to necessarily be on the 3-point line for a pick and pop. But you leave him open. When he gets in a rhythm, he can really, really stretch the floor for this Hampton team.
Came in only shooting 22% from beyond the arc. He's 2 of 2 here tonight. Drake with the miss, Long the rebound. Hampton looking to run. Farrakhan down the lane and scoops it in.
To start off this game, this looks like a little bit more polished Hampton team, especially offensively. This is a team that struggled offensively in the first half of games throughout this season, and so far have shown to kind of look like a different team.
McGee gives the pan off for 3. Another defensive rebound, something they have been talking about the last couple of weeks. Defending the backboards. Farrakhan with the line drive miss. McGee the rebound. 7 minutes gone by here in this first half with Hampton ahead by 4. We've had 3 lead changes and 1 tie so far in this first half. Shot clock is at 10. Blakeney on the drive. And it nestled on the back of the rim before dropping in for his first basket.
That's the second shot that's looked like that so far today. I'm not sure why Drexel is getting the friendly bounce on an away game, but
Blakeney, the sophomore from Rock Hill, South Carolina, has pulled the Dragons to within 2. Beal from distance, and Hargrove with his first board. Drexel a chance to tie or retake the lead. They led by as many as 5. Drake inside has tied it up at 13.
Yeah, Drake's been a problem so far here in this one. He's been able to dice through this Hampton defense throughout with his ability to just get downhill off the dribble and then also pull back when needed.
Coach Spiker calls him their most prolific scorer, even though he is the point guard for the team.
He shows kind of offensively what a prolific scorer can do. Just makes any kind of space off the dribble, and it's tough to guard.
Shot clock's at 5 for Hampton. Here's Mullen again. First miss from beyond the arc. Long an offensive rebound and score. That is a strength for Hampton this year. They're second in the conference in offensive rebounding this season.
And that's something I felt like kind of stayed from, the last regime of Hampton. Last year, it was a really good offensive rebounding team, and rebounding team in general was a foul there on Farrakhan. But they've stayed a really good offensive rebounding team.
And that brings us to our under 16 timeout with 11:22 left in the first half. Hampton with a 2-point lead here on Monumental and on Flow Hoops.
I am Dan the Man, not because I'm a business owner, a leader, manager, or even family man. They call me Dan the Man for what I do in our community. I am here to help and care for those in need. That's one reason why it's better at Bannister.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact Milt Rawlis for an auto quote today.
Surrounded on three sides by water, Hampton University is one of the most beautiful university settings you'll find anywhere. Faculty, staff, and students are making a difference in the global community through service and science. We challenge our students to excel at the highest level. We are the standard of excellence. But most importantly, Hampton University is delivering the #1 student experience in America.
Whether traveling for business or pleasure or other reasons altogether, Norfolk Airport is working non-stop to make your trip an easy one. No matter where you land, life takes off from here. So should you.
11:22 left in the first half. Been a pretty entertaining opening stanza with Hampton leading 15-13. We got a good shot of Zach Spiker inside that Drexel huddle in his 9th year as head coach. He's got 126 career victories with the Dragons. He has a CAA conference championship. Did that in the abbreviated 2021 COVID year, which was their last appearance in the NCAA tournament. He also has some time at Army, West Point, and he has compiled a 228 career wins. And right now sitting tied for 8th in the CAA, currently 1 game back of 6th place. We're going to talk about conference tournament and, you know, the brackets that we have right now. But they're only a game ahead of Hampton, who is in that 3-way tie for 11th in the standings. So a win here, a win there can really shake up how that conference tournament bracket will look. Off the inbound is Butler, and he uses the jump hook to tie the game up at 15.
Yeah, Butler, another guy that can really give this team points. I mean, this team has a lot of different guys that can go off on any nights. I mean, you look at just in general, Butler had 28 in their game earlier against Bryant. Hargrove is kind of the player to watch as Mullins hits the layup there. Drake had 25 points against Wayne and Merritt. McGee had 28 points versus Colgate. I mean, there's 4 or 5 guys on this team that can really go off on any kind of night.
And Butler is their leading scorer, averaging just over 14 a night. And he has it against Wayne Bristol, who just checked in for Hampton. Kevin Vanderhorst was long on the 3. Richard Goods also in, along with Struthers wearing number 5. And Trevor Smith in wearing number 2. So Mullen is the only starter on the floor for Hampton on this possession. Here's Bristol, tough shot. Goods an offensive rebound. Here's Trevor Smith for 3. Mullen with the rebound and uses the left hand. Pretty move by Kyrese Mullen, who leads all scorers with 8.
This may be kind of a coming out party on what's kind of been I would say, a very volatile season here for Kyrese Mullen in terms of minutes, just in terms of his overall play, but it started off really, really well here for this Hampton team.
Actually has 10 so far in the first half in 10 minutes. A turnover by Drexel. Their 3rd turnover of the first half as we're inside of 10 minutes, actually coming up on the 9.5-minute mark of the first half. They look to Bristol for 3. And Drexel with the rebound.
Those are 2 tough first looks here for Bristol coming off the bench.
They're going to get an offensive foul. That's going to go against Clem Idamwanyen with the foul, his first, and that brings us to the under 12 timeout. When we come back, we're going to have a very special guest joining us here courtside, one of the legends in Hampton basketball history. That's on the other side of this break on Monumental and on Flow Hoops.
This is the CAA on Flow Sports.
Hello, Hampton University alumni, fans, supporters, and friends. With the ever-changing landscape of intercollegiate athletics, we aim as a department to position our student athletes to stay at the forefront of this change. In this effort, we're thrilled to announce the official launch of the 68 Oak NIL Collective. Named after the iconic Emancipation Oak, this collective is designed to empower our student athletes, allowing them to leverage their name, image, and likeness while staying true to the spirit of Hampton Nation. Join us in making history. Your support of 68 Oak today will be a significant part of Hampton's future in collegiate athletics.
Top-level talent. Electric atmospheres. National exposure. Playing tough, playing together, and playing with passion. This is CAA Hoops.
Surrounded on three sides by water, Hampton University is one of the most beautiful university settings you'll find anywhere. Faculty, staff, and students are making a difference in the global community through service and science. We challenge our students to excel at the highest level. We are the standard of excellence. But most importantly, Hampton University is delivering the number one student
Yes, sir.
experience
Cheers.
in
You hear
America.
both of us?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, then. How's everybody doing? Everybody
Doing good. Doing good.
Wonderful.
Give it up for the Crimson Thunder.
Back here at the Convocation Center, we got our very special guest with us here courtside. You know this, man, a legend involving Hampton basketball. Second all-time leading scorer in program history, Greg Duncan Hines, joining us here courtside. How are you?
I'm good, man. Too blessed to be stressed. And I don't take no mess.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Sound like he got some rap style.
Well, you know, actually it's a lifestyle because playing with Rick Mahorn,
Oh,
we don't take
yes.
no mess.
We definitely going to talk about your time
Oh, yeah.
with Rick Mahorn.
I can't tell you everything.
Oh, no. Leave a little bit for the imagination for the viewers.
Yes, indeed.
Right now we got Hampton with a 4-point lead over Drexel, and Wayne Bristol misfires on the three. Mullen with another offensive rebound and will shoot two as he will go to the line. I want to know how the nickname, I'm pretty sure I know where it came from, but I want you to tell everybody where Gregory Duncan Hines, not spelled D-U-N-K-I-N.
Exactly, because I don't bake no cakes. I ain't bake no cakes, and everybody's not running on Duncan on this end. But it's all good, man.
But how did the nickname come about?
Because I was big, strong, and I always went to the basket. I enjoyed it. Duncan, slam Duncan. No jump shots at all.
No jump shots at all.
Yeah, at that time when you're 6'8", it's easy.
Right. That's true. That's true. Average 16 points per game for a career, 16.4. That's sixth best all time, which is tremendous. And like we were talking about, you did have a Hall of Famer also on the team in Rick Mahorn.
And Darryl Ward, the point guard.
Yes.
We was in the inaugural Hall of Fame class, and basketball was easy for me my freshman year because Rick Mahorn was a senior, and Darryl Ward was a junior. And three people had to guard one, and two had to guard the other, so no one left me wide open. I was just a little freshman. So, but I had fun. It was a great experience.
And you definitely produced a three-time All-American here at Hampton. one to shoot for the Dragons, and they don't get the shot off in time. And another turnover for Drexel. That's their 5th of this first half. I want to remind you, in the newest Beyond the Buzzer, the Wizards are feeling the puppy love at Hoop and Hounds Night. Kashawn George turns up the heat in a fine dining kitchen, and we check in with Muggsy Bogues and much more. Stream all episodes of Beyond the Buzzer anytime on the Monumental Plus app.
You talked about playing with a lot of great players your freshman year. How did that help you develop into what you became, that end product that you became?
Because everybody left me open. I thought it was easy. I had to work hard off the court. But when they all graduated, I was left out there by myself.
Right.
So I had to defend. You know, I had a very productive freshman year and a learning curve sophomore year. I will go with that. And then my junior and senior year, I put the two of them together, and I had a final 2 years with winning the CIAA championship, the final 2 years, the first time in the school's history. And hopefully our team can get inducted into the Hall of Fame here at Hampton. And I love seeing my banners hanging up there.
Right. Aston misfires on the 3 for Drexel as Hampton with the rebound and a 6-point lead against the Dragons. You mentioned that a lot of people maybe have forgotten Hampton, a member of the CIAA back in the 70s and the 80s. And you had some wars, I know, with the likes of Norfolk State, Virginia State, Virginia Union. Those 4 in-state teams, those rivalries, I know, were tremendous back then.
And plus, not to mention the fact that the CIAA had 14 schools in the whole conference, and they was all dominant. Hampton was one of the schools that was one of the founders of the CIAA and just was not in the tops in basketball for years. They was one of the founding schools that never won it. But once they got a taste of that winning, the Hampton crowd, the alumni went crazy. We had to do it again. But that CIAA was a battle every single game, home and away.
And Duncan Hines was the most outstanding player of the 1982 CIAA tournament with that banner in the rafters here at the Convocation Center. We're going to take a quick break, talk more with Duncan Hines here in Hampton with the Pirates leading 21-15.
The car crash experts means knowing how to fight the big insurance companies about the cases that happen every day in our community.
Injury law is all that we do. We don't do anything else. We don't do anything but injury work, primarily car crashes.
We say no need to worry because that is the truth.
No need to worry. Call Cooper Hurley.
The car crash experts. 333-3333.
Hello, Hampton University alumni, fans, supporters, and friends. With the ever-changing landscape of intercollegiate athletics, we aim as a department to position our student athletes to stay at the forefront of this change. In this effort, we're thrilled to announce the official launch of the 68 Oak NIL Collective. Named after the iconic Emancipation Oak, this collective is designed to empower our student athletes, allowing them to leverage their name, image, and likeness while staying true to the spirit of Hampton Nation. Join us in making history. Your support of 68 Oak today will be a significant part of Hampton's future in collegiate athletics.
I am Dan the Man, not because I'm a business owner, a leader, manager, or even family man. They call me Dan the Man for what I do in our community. I am here to help and care for those in need. That's one reason why it's better at Bannister.
Top-level talent. Electric atmospheres. National exposure. Playing tough, playing together, and playing with passion. This is CAA Hoops.
Back here at the Convocation Center with 7 minutes to go in the first half, and Hampton with a 6-point lead. Don't forget more Hampton Hoops coming your way this weekend on the Monumental Sports Network. The Pirates will host Hofstra this Saturday in a matchup that you do not want to miss. Tune in at 2 p.m. on the Monumental Sports Network for Hampton and Hofstra. Still with Greg Duncan Hines, Hall of Famer here at Hampton. Hey, we really want to appreciate the time you joining us here and talking about some of the memories that you had here in Hampton, resulted in a couple of CIAA championships with the Pirates.
I'm very proud and happy. And thank you so much for allowing me to come down and speak with y'all guys.
Thanks
It's
again.
an honor, man. And let's go Pirates. Because we know Hampton is a
There it
thought
is.
sent from heaven above.
There you go.
To be a great soul's inspiration.
I like that. I like it. Thank
Let's
you very
go
much.
Pirates. Thank you so much. And love you guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Craig Duncan Hines, joining us here, courtside of the Convocation Center. He told us during the break, it was like they didn't know his first name. They just called him Duncan Hines. I used to work down at Virginia State, and they reveled when we're talking about Hampton. That one of the first men after Rick Mahorn, it was not Greg Hines, it was Duncan Hines. As Struthers works inside, misses his own tip, and the rebound to Drexel as they trail 21-15. Hampton in the midst of a 6-0 run over the last 4+ minutes. Here's Jason Drake inside. Chased down by Richard Goods, saved to Kobe McGee. Coming up on the 6-minute mark here in this first half.
And Ms. House, I have another quick question for you. Coach Thomas always talks about energy, effort, toughness, and enthusiasm. How does that correlate to your time here at Hampton?
Well, hopefully we get a crowd in here. And just energy. You got to put forth, Coach Ford always emphasized defense. And that's the main focus is just to play defense. Once you stop and play some defense, your body is used to moving and you're engaged. Being engaged in the game, your offense will come around.
Right.
You know, and for us big guys, we get our energy just going, crashing the boards.
Shot clock is under 10. Farrakhan has it guarded by Drake. Farrakhan high off the window and scores again.
Yeah, that's a tough shot by Farrakhan. It feels like Farrakhan's had another. I feel like a lot of players on this Hampton team have had kind of volatile seasons where the switch up of lineups, switch up of just a jump ball there.
Arrow favors Hampton, another forced turnover. That's 6 turnovers in the first half for Drexel.
Hampton's played an ideal game, but I mean, it really comes down to, it feels like a lot of their players, or a lot of their most talented players offensively are starting to get into a rhythm and starting to get some confidence.
And that's what I noticed at the game in UNBC. I was at that game. And they got out to a slow start, but they came back and rallied. And it was a lot of energy there. And, of course, my favorite guy there is number 3, Mullins. Oh, he could play with me and Rick any day.
Ah, yes.
Oh, man, Mullins is my guy.
That's a man down there working. He's currently on the bench with 12 first half points. A big reason why Hampton has a 6-point lead. Could you see that front court with you, Mahorn, and Muller? As Blakeney works inside.
Well, who will play the small forward? That's the big question.
Don't make no difference. There ain't going to be no layup.
Well, you going to play center because you said you want to shoot.
It don't make no difference who was the small forward. There was not going to be no layup.
Oh, back then, yeah. If you're trying to go inside, you going to pay for it.
Yeah. And on offense, the ball's going right there.
10 to shoot for Hampton as DJ back in for the Pirates. Here's Struthers for 3. And Butler climbing the ladder for the rebound as Drexel trailing by 4. They trailed by as many as 6 in the first half.
Come on.
And another turnover. 7 first half turnovers for Drexel. But to the Dragons' credit, they've only allowed 2 points off of those turnovers.
And Hampton has to do a better job converting those turnovers. They've had some kind of sloppy plays coming off those turnovers. It really hasn't created points for them.
Shot clock under 10. Here's Goods from straight away. And Farrakhan got backdropped by McGee, but they're going to get Farrakhan with the foul as he went over the back. Again, thanks to Greg Duncan Hines for joining us here. 2009 Hall of Famer here at Hampton University. The Pirates with a 23-19 lead over Drexel on Monumental and on Flow Hoops.
the CAA on Flow Sports.
The world will change. Drexel University is designed to change with it. By embracing change as the world moves forward, Drexel is constantly learning and evolving, preparing the next generation of leaders able to anticipate and address the challenges of tomorrow, because the future can't wait.
Five postseason teams in 2023-24. Competition top to bottom, night in and night out. The energy, the heart, the hustle. This is CAA Hoops.
Again, big thanks to Greg Duckenhines for joining us here at our broadcast location. And he was liking the effort that Hampton has showed in this first half, Kanye, in the midst of a 4-point lead. And Farrakhan taking a hard tumble, but he is okay and is in the huddle with Ivan Thomas in his first year as head coach. And getting close to that 500 mark. They've been hovering around that for a while. A win tonight would get them even at 13-13.
Yeah, the big part has been the player to watch, Kyrese Mullen, who, 12 points in the first half in just a few minutes, and he's done everything for this Hampton team. You see his ability to kind of come off that pick and roll. Of course, he's been able to dominate inside. That's what we've known him for since his freshman year. But really what's been new is his ability to stretch the floor, but another thing is his ability to, again, dominate inside. That's what we've seen from him all season. And then you look here, his ability to stretch the floor is really kind of new development in his game. We saw that, especially at the end of last year. Seeing that more here did go tournament time.
He is back on the floor for Hampton. It's 12 points and 4 rebounds and 11 minutes of work. Kobe McGee, the step-back three. Mullen yanks down his 5th rebound of the first half to go along with those 12 points. He's coming off of an 11.4 rebound night against Northeastern Saturday, so he has passed that total just in the first half as they look inside to Xavier Long, and he converts. And Hampton back in front by 6, matching their largest lead of the first half.
Yeah, Hampton's in a really good rhythm here offensively.
Another forced turnover by the Pirates. 8 turnovers by the Dragons. Here's Beal fading away. Comes up a little bit short. Vanderhorst the rebound.
Yeah, Bill that time made it a little bit harder. I had a lane. Wasn't really, looked like Drexel had a miscommunication defensively, but wasn't able to take advantage of it.
Drexel shooting 41% from the field in this first half. Panoff guarded by DJ. Shot clock is near 10. Looking inside is Hargrove plus the foul.
Yeah, late call, but the right call there. Hargrove did a good job of selling it at the end, though, as well.
They're going to get Mullen with the foul. And 2 free throws for Cole Hargrove, our player to watch for Drexel, the team's 4th leading scorer. But he is the team's leading rebounder, one of the best rebounders, not only in the CAA, and also a shot blocker, a rim protector for Coach Spiker.
Right. He's made things difficult, somewhat difficult inside for this Hampton team so far. But Hampton, has been able to just click on all cylinders and find open lanes, find open shots so far here in this one. That's why they have a lead.
William Garcia Aston, transfer from out of Pacific, a sophomore from Sweden, is in for Drexel. He is in your picture right behind Hargrove, number 22. As Hargrove splits a pair, and another rebound for Mullen now with 6 on the night. Came in averaging nearly 8 a game. as we're at the 2-minute mark of this first half. Drexel led 5-0. Hampton is led by as many as 6 on 2 different occasions of this first half. Shot clock under 10. Beal thought about the 3, goes right up against Hargrove with 1 to shoot, and Aston the rebound. Vanderhorst to McGee for 3. Offensive rebound, Aston. A fresh 20 for Drexel, trailing by 5. Aston in the lane and draws a foul.
Yeah, the foul call there, I think, might have saved them there offensively. Drexel doesn't really, won't be surprised if you see Drake come back in here in the next few minutes. I mean, it's been tough for Drake to really get anything going offensively, but really is struggling to get downhill. No one's really able to get downhill. It seems like in this lineup they have a lot of kind of bigger guys that are able to score, but not necessarily get to a scoring spot with the dribble. Just as I say, that tough move there from Butler.
Yame Butler with the bucket and the bump as George Beal was trying to draw a charge, but picks up his first foul, and Butler will get a chance at a 3-point play at the stripe. Was talking to Drexel's sports information director, Mike Tuberosa. And he was saying that he doesn't make any layup easy. There's no easy layups for McGee. Everything's got to be with flair, but he comes through.
And I mean, that's just part of today's game, but it's what you come to appreciate today's game, especially as the game develops. A lot of games we kind of lost, I feel like, the flair in a lot of games has kind of become robotic, and seeing the flair every now and again, is a breath of fresh air.
Under 10 to shoot. Long underneath, blocked by Hargrove. Mullen an offensive rebound, and thought it was going to go down, but Hargrove claims the miss. Couple of block shots for Hargrove, and Butler up high and down hard for Drexel, as now Coach Thomas will use a timeout, his use it or lose it timeout, and he went right to the bench immediately to bring in Goods and also Unique Rank for the first time.
Yeah,
did not like the transitional defense.
Yeah, just no one was there defensively. There, the easy kind of dunk for Butler, and now Drexel within 1 after looking rough for a large amount of this first half, turning the ball over. Looked like Hampton was clicking on every cylinder offensively. A rough 2 to 3 minute span could really change the game. And now Drexel, despite that, down 1.
And there have been moments in the games, Cayenne, that we have seen, that we've done together, where there's been like a 4 or 5 minute drought or stretch in a game in which Hampton has either made a couple of mistakes or they go in a scoring drought, which they are right now. It's almost 2.5 minutes. And then we see the momentum flip, and now it's on the side of Drexel.
And usually the reason that happens is Hampton starts to force shots. Beal, one of their best scorers on the team, but his last 2 shots have been 2 forced shots and 2 tough shots. When, they get better shots there, you don't really go through those scoring droughts. That's a lot of times when you see when a team goes through a scoring drought, they're not shooting good shots, or they might start off shooting good shots, but they lose that because they're so desperate to score. And when you lose that, it makes it difficult.
The lead is down to 1 as we're near a half a minute left in the first half. And a turnover. Here is McGee going up against Long. The spin and the kiss off the window, and Drexel back in front. Hampton will try to hold it for 1 as they trail 26-25.
It's an interesting lineup, I would say here, but good idea there from Drexel. There's a foul call there.
And Drexel nowhere near the penalty. That's only their 3rd team foul.
Yeah, I would say a good idea from Drexel to throw a press there when you have 4 big guys out there. I'm surprised they broke that press. Actually, sometimes with guards, it's difficult to break the press.
Quick inbound to Long inside against Hargrove, and he gets it to go. One more chance for Drexel. Vanderhorst, good if it goes. Hits the front of the rim, and the first half comes to a close. A great play inside by Hampton as they retake the lead 27-26. We're going to come back with another special guest here at the half as the Pirates lead on Monumental and on Flow Hoops.
Hampton University is delivering the #1 student experience in America. Surrounded on 3 sides by water, Hampton University is one of the most beautiful university settings you'll find anywhere. From our world-class research centers to our dedication to the arts and our athletic programs where we build leaders and champions, we challenge our students to excel at the highest level. We are the first and only HBCU with 100% control of a NASA satellite mission. The Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute is the largest freestanding proton beam cancer treatment center in the world, where we are easing human misery and saving lives. Hampton University, faculty, staff, and students are making a difference in the global community through service and science. We are the standard of excellence, but most importantly, Hampton University is delivering the #1 student experience in America.
This is the CAA on Flow Sports.
Hello, Hampton University alumni, fans, supporters, and friends. With the ever-changing landscape of intercollegiate athletics, we aim as a department to position our student athletes to stay at the forefront of this change. In this effort, we're thrilled to announce the official launch of the 68 Oak NIL Collective. Named after the iconic Emancipation Oak, this collective is designed to empower our student athletes, allowing them to leverage their name, image, and likeness while staying true to the spirit of Hampton Nation. Join us in making history. Your support of 68 Oak today will be a significant part of Hampton's future in collegiate athletics.
Whether traveling for business or pleasure or other reasons altogether, Norfolk Airport is working nonstop to make your trip an easy one. No matter where you land, life takes off from here. So should you.
Back here at the half with the Pirates leading 27-26 here at the Convocation Center. We got a very special guest joining us here, courtside fashion designer, tailor, entrepreneur, whatever title you want to use. It belongs to this man, Andre Julius, who tailors and fashions Ivan Thomas's wardrobe during the course of the season as well as the team. And we're going to talk about that in just a few minutes. But we want to welcome you to halftime here at the Convocation Center here in Hampton.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having us.
Tell us how the relationship started between you and Coach Thomas.
Yeah, so, man, about, 5 to 10 years ago, I was a police officer in Williamsburg. At the same time, I was a personal trainer. So I ended up coaching Coach Ivan's daughters in speed and agility.
Okay.
So that's kind of how that connection was made. So about a year ago, Coach Ivan gives my business phone number a call and say, hey, I'm looking for some custom suits for my basketball team. I was like, okay, cool. At that time, we didn't know that we knew each other. So we hung up the phone, and I looked at my cell phone. I said, I have an Ivan Thomas in my contacts. So I called him back. I said, hey, Coach Ivan, this is Andre, a.k.a. Dre. That's how most people know me. He said, Andre the cop? I said, not no more. And that's kind of how that connection was made with Coach Ivan.
Now, we showed our viewers some of the designs that you put together for Coach Thomas, to include that special HU one.
Yes, sir.
When they had the Black College game here against, I want to say, Howard.
It's Howard, yes, sir.
A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
How did you switch gears and go from a cop and a personal trainer to now a fashion designer?
Good question. So I was a high school SRO at Lafayette High School. Shout out to Lawrence Taylor, the great. Lafayette, right?
Yeah.
So
he was okay in the NFL.
He was all right, right? During that time, I opened up multiple businesses.
Okay.
A personal training facility. That's how that connection was made with Coach Ivan to personal training his daughters. And then I opened a restaurant. And then I opened up a suit business, Andre Julius, right? So at the end of about this past 6 months ago, my department said, hey, you no longer be an SRO. want you to be going to the road. And I said, you know, that really wasn't for me. So I made that leap to do personal styling and custom suiting full time.
And he's got 2 shops, one in Williamsburg and also one in Richmond. Not only does he style Coach Thomas and the Hampton team, he also styles Ryan Clark.
I do.
And also Nate Burleson.
That's correct.
As well. Hopefully he'll style Sean Robertson. We'll talk about
Coming
that
soon.
after the game. Thanks for the time, Andre. We definitely appreciate it. Good luck. Continued success with everything that you're doing.
Thanks for having. God bless.
God bless
Appreciate
as well.
Thanks, guys.
Andre Julius here at halftime at the Convocation Center with the Pirates leading by 1 over Drexel. We'll have more halftime activities from the Convocation Center here on Monumental and on Flow Hoops.
Top-level talent. Electric atmospheres. National exposure. Playing tough, playing together, and playing with passion. This is CAA Hoops.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact Milt Rawlis for an auto quote today.
Being the car crash experts means knowing how to fight the big insurance companies about the cases that happen every day in our community.
Injury law is all that we do. We don't do anything else. We don't do anything but injury work, primarily car crashes.
We say no need to worry because that is the truth.
No need to worry. Call Cooper Hurley.
The car crash experts. 333-3333.
Surrounded on 3 sides by water, Hampton University is one of the most beautiful university settings you'll find anywhere. Faculty, staff, and students are making a difference in the global community through service and science. We challenge our students to excel at the highest level. We are the standard of excellence. But most importantly, Hampton University is delivering the #1 student experience in America.
Whether traveling for business or pleasure or other reasons altogether, Norfolk Airport is working nonstop to make your trip an easy one. No matter where you land, life takes off from here.
Halftime here at the Convocation Center with Hampton leading 27-26. Big thanks to Andre Julius here joining us at halftime. And now we got some first half highlights leading the way. Kyrie Smullen, Kaya Nickelberry.
Yeah, Kyrie Smullen has done a lot for this team here. A lot of quick early points. Things kind of slowed down as, after he came out that first time. But, the first few minutes was huge from this Hampton team. Huge for them getting a lead, but you saw there Butler and Drexel continue to fight back, trying to get into this game. And Drexel did everything they can. And a big part of that was Butler. They struggled. They were very kind of dry offensively for a while. Butler came in, was able to give them something offensively. And look here, of course, we talked about Hargrove throughout this game, and he's been able to produce as well. Farrakhan has looked confident here today. Looked like a different Farrakhan that we saw earlier in the season. He just looks loose offensively, and it's helped Hampton so far here today. And of course, Drake, has been a big part here for Drexel. Really has done a lot creating shots off the dribble. And you look here, we've seen this highlight at least 4 times here today, but Mullen, it's consistently been what we've seen from Kyrie Smullen over the course of, his now 3 years here at Hampton. His ability to dominate the boards is a reason he was one of the All-CAA players to start the season. Farrakhan had a really tough shot there. I'm not even sure how he made that shot. And Farrakhan, though, again, just looks very loose offensively. Looks like very comfortable, which you didn't see early in the season. Everything, especially from a lot of their kind of key offensive players, looked kind of rigid. enforced. It looked like they were trying to force themselves to get into different areas and force themselves to get into the players they want to be or the players that they are, and now it just looks like they're just playing the way they play.
We had talked about it earlier, but don't forget, CAA Hoops returns to the Care First Arena in Washington, D.C. for the 2025 CAA Men's Basketball Championships, with March just around the corner. It kicks off March 7th in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. Be sure to head over to caasports.com/MBB for tickets, information, and so much more. We know the top 3 or 4 teams, they're going to be pretty good, but those teams in the middle of the pack, watch out for, and I think Drexel and Hampton are going to be in that mix when the conference tournament starts in a couple of weeks. Halftime stats: Drexel shooting better from the field, 46% to only 32%, but speaking of Hampton, holding the Dragons to just 11% from 3 in the first half.
I mean, it goes back to Coach Thomas's point throughout this season is they've struggled to help teams behind the three-point line, really run shooters off the three-point line, but so far here today, they've done a good job of it. Struggled with it at the beginning of this game, but since then, has done a really good job of defending Drexel at the three-point line.
And only committing 2 turnovers in the first half, forcing 8 Drexel mistakes. But again, like we talked about in the first half, they only scored a basket off of those 8 mistakes for Drexel.
And have to take advantage better of the turnovers, because they had a lot of turnovers where they were in transition, they had shots, and they might not necessarily turn the ball over, but it was kind of like sway-though, like turnovers. But Hampton has to do a better job of taking advantage of the opportunities that they get here.
More halftime activities from the Convocation Center, with Hampton leading by 1 on Monumental Sports.
Five postseason teams in 2023-24. Competition top to bottom, night in and night out. The energy, the heart, the hustle. This is CAA Hoops.
The world will change. Drexel University is designed to change with it. By embracing change as the world moves forward, Drexel is constantly learning and evolving, preparing the next generation of leaders able to anticipate and address the challenges of tomorrow, because the future can't wait.
Hello, Hampton University alumni, fans, supporters, and friends. With the ever-changing landscape of intercollegiate athletics, we aim as a department to position our student athletes to stay at the forefront of this change. In this effort, we're thrilled to announce the official launch of the 68 Oak NIL Collective. Named after the iconic Emancipation Oak, this collective is designed to empower our student athletes, allowing them to leverage their name, image, and likeness while staying true to the spirit of Hampton Nation. Join us in making history. Your support of 68 Oak today will be a significant part of Hampton's future in collegiate athletics.
This is the CAA on Flow Sports.
Surrounded on 3 sides by water, Hampton University is one of the most beautiful university settings you'll find anywhere. Faculty, staff, and students are making a difference in the global community through service and science. We challenge our students to excel at the highest level. We are the standard of excellence, but most importantly, Hampton University is delivering the #1 student experience in America.
All right, got an interesting 20 minutes left in this one as we take a look at our CAA conference standings. We mentioned Drexel in a 3-way tie for 8th in the standings with Northeastern, who Hampton just beat Saturday, and Delaware. And Hampton is in a tie with Hofstra for 11th, 1 game back of Drexel. So this one is huge for both teams as we look ahead to the conference tournament. And these are the projected brackets. If the season ended today, Hampton would be in that day one 11 versus 14 matchup with A&T, who Hampton swept this season. Both of them were close. The last one was by a single point down in Greensboro. And you look at Drexel, they would play on day 2 in an 8-9 matchup against Northeastern. All of these games will be on Flow Sports. The semis and the finals will be on CBS Sports Network up in D.C. Second half begins with the starting lineups for both on the floor. What are you looking for in this second half for both teams?
I mean, for Drexel, just have to tone down on the mistakes, have to kind of just find some kind of flow on offense. Kind of looked all over the place offensively in that first half, able to kind of come back and get some kind of consistency to end things off. And you're luckily only down by 1. But for Hampton, really just they need to put their foot back on the gas pedal. Had their foot on the gas pedal to start off the first half. It looks like they kind of left off a little bit at the end, as Farrakhan's going to start things back here for Hampton now. But that's going to be important. Can they keep their foot on the gas pedal for 20 minutes?
Those 4 pillars that Coach Thomas always talks about: energy, effort, enthusiasm, and toughness.
You looked at me. I wasn't sure he was going to quiz me. I got nervous.
You'll get a quiz later. Pop quiz. We'll see if you get it. Drake inside against DJ. And Mullen with his 7th rebound. He is close to a double-double. He's had 4 this year. Farrakhan with the scoop, blocked by Hargrove. Hampton wanted a goaltend, didn't get it. Almost like a double dribble there by Drake. Drexel with a chance to tie on a 3. Hargrove guarded by Mullen. The double came. Butler loses it, gets it back. 10 to shoot for the Dragons. Goes off of McGee's foot. Here's Drake inside with 1 to shoot. They say they did get it off in time, and the rebound too long. Great defensive set there by Hampton.
Yeah, that was a Drexel possession that was a bit more reminiscent of what we saw from them in that first half. Just looked a bit all over the place, not really intentional about where they're going.
Here's DJ, long and offensive rebound. Another stat that kind of caught my eye in the first 20 minutes, 0 bench points as Farrakhan inside is now in double figures with 10. 0. This is a team that is now, they're number 1 in the CAA, 2nd in the country in bench scoring. 0 in the first half.
And
as Panoff works inside.
I think it's contributed also to, I mean, we're seeing a lot of guys here who started who typically are on the bench. Farrakhan throughout this season has been on the bench. Beal started on the bench. Mullen a lot of times has been started on the bench, and now they're here starting and big contributors. So technically they're getting bench points, but it's just not, I mean, well, technically they're not getting bench points, but theoretically these are their bench players getting starting minutes.
Pretty first step by Farrakhan. He's now matched Mullen's production with 12 in the game.
Yeah, Farrakhan looks great out here today. Just like I've talked about throughout this game, just looks very comfortable offensively. Looks like he can play his game.
Panoff with the miss, long the rebound.
And that's going to be dangerous coming in the CAA play. Just Farrakhan can get down here very easy, can get to where he wants to be scoring-wise, especially when he gets like deep into that kind of the inside. It's going to be tough to guard going to the CAA tournament.
I kind of like this lineup. I mean, you got 3 legit scorers, any one of them that can score 20. Here's Mullen galloping inside, had his first shot blocked by Hargrove, gets it back, scores again. Kyrese Mullen has become a flamethrower here tonight with 14.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, 3 guys that can really, really put the ball in the hoop. I mean, you know, won't be surprised if Coach Thomas kind of throws some variability with one of those 3 and maybe lets one rest. As looks like a call. Oh, it's actually going to be a timeout here.
Timeout called by Coach Spiker as Hampton has their largest lead of the night at 7. As we'll take a timeout on the floor with Hampton up 35-28 here on Monumental and on Flow Hoops. Actually, we're going to stay right here That's the beauty of live television. 1 minute you think we're going to take a break. Hey, we're going to switch it up. We're going to do an audible.
Right.
Changing it up here. Hampton with a 7-point lead, and it's been Farrakhan and Mullally have contributed 26 of the 35 points in the game.
Hampton University is delivering the #1 student experience in America. Surrounded on 3 sides by water, Hampton University is one of the most beautiful university settings you'll find anywhere. From our world-class research centers to our dedication to the arts and our athletic programs where we build leaders and champions, we challenge our students to excel at the highest level. We are the first and only HBCU with 100% control of a NASA satellite mission. The Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute is the largest freestanding proton beam cancer treatment center in the world, where we are easing human misery and saving lives. Hampton University, faculty, staff, and students are making a difference in the global community through service and science. We are the standard of excellence, but most importantly, Hampton University is delivering the #1 student experience in America.
Top-level talent. Electric atmospheres.
16:07 left in regulation with Hampton with their largest lead of the game at 7. Don't forget, DMV Hoop fans, keep the basketball going during NBA All-Star Weekend with 10 college games on the Monumental Sports Network to include Hampton, George Mason, GW, games on the HBCU Go Network, the Richmond Spider, and also Townsend University. All of that taking place during NBA All-Star Weekend. So when the Wizards take a little break, we got college basketball on the Monumental Sports Network to include these Pirates hosting Hofstra Saturday afternoon.
We also talk about that Townsend team, which now was in first place, which we talked about William & Mary throughout this season. Never has won or never has been in the NCAA tournament, but now Townsend has taken the lead within the conference, where William & Mary just a week ago felt pretty, I would say, somewhat comfortable at first, but now in 4th place.
Yeah, Townsend has looked really, really good. Also this week, Campbell got a big home win against North Carolina A&T, continuing their strong play at home this year.
It's going to be very interesting how this conference shakes up. It's a tough finish there.
Man, that was a pretty executed play by the Pirates, and Long with his 8-point finishes. Inside on the other end is Butler, and he is rewarded with 2 free throws, and that brings us to our under 16 media timeout. 15:24 to go. Hampton with a 9-point lead over Drexel here on Monumental and on Flow Hoops.
I am Dan the Man, not because I'm a business owner, a leader, a manager, or even family man. They call me Dan the Man for what I do in our community. I am here to help and care for those in need. That's one reason why it's better at Bannister.
Whether traveling for business or pleasure or other reasons altogether, Norfolk Airport is working non-stop to make your trip an easy one. No matter where you land, life takes off from here. So should you.
Being the car crash experts means knowing how to fight the big insurance companies about the cases that happen every day in our community.
Injury law is all that we do. We don't do anything else. We don't do anything but injury work, primarily car crashes.
We say no need to worry because that is the truth.
No need to worry. Call Cooper Hurley.
the car crash experts. 333-3333.
Hello, Hampton University alumni, fans, supporters, and friends. With the ever-changing landscape of intercollegiate athletics, we aim as a department to position our student athletes to stay at the forefront of this change. In this effort, we're thrilled to announce the official launch of the 68 Oak NIL Collective. Named after the iconic Emancipation Oak, this collective is designed to empower our student athletes, allowing them to leverage their name, image, and likeness while staying true to the spirit of Hampton Nation. Join us in making history. Your support of 68 Oak today will be a significant part of Hampton's future in collegiate athletics.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact Milt Rawless for an auto quote today.
Hampton in the midst of a 6-0 run and currently has their largest lead of the game, 37-28. And in the second half, Noah Farrakhan has put the scoring load on his shoulders.
And Noah Farrakhan, I mean, he's just been him. He's Noah Farrakhan that we saw throughout his college career. Just being loose, very. I mean, that New Jersey play style is really coming out here. You didn't see it as much earlier in the season, but you just, like, you can see kind of how loose he's playing. There's no kind of rigidness in his game right now, and he feels very comfortable. You can kind of tell. Kyrie's Mullen, another player that looks very comfortable here today, and this Hampton team seems like they're getting acclimated at the right time.
Coach still said they are a work in progress, even though we're in game number 26 on the year. A lot of newcomers. We've talked about that in nausea this year. 14 new players on this team. The only holdovers from last year, Mullen, and also Dan Bannister, who hasn't seen a lot of action in the last month. But everybody else still trying to get their roles in place, but coaches always said just star in your role. We don't ask you to do too much, but star in your role. When we ask you to do it, star in it. And it looked like Farrakhan and Mullen are doing that tonight.
And they're really going to need them to continue to star in these roles going come tournament time because, I mean, this is a tough conference as we were just talking about during the break. I mean, William & Mary 2 weeks ago was #1 and now 4th place.
And you got Townsend and Wilmington and Charleston climbing the ladder, especially at home. They have taken care of their business at home as Struthers rings it up from distance as Hampton now a double-digit lead on Drexel by 11 and almost a turnover forced by Hampton.
I mean, you may see a Hampton team that may be somewhere climbing up the rankings maybe within, the next week or so.
Smith with the foul as he knocked Blakeney to the floor. That was another thing. We talked to Coach Thomas this week, and he was emphasizing how important it is to take care of business at home. He said that went back to his time with at Providence when he was working with Coach Cooley, how it was important. They emphasize that, especially in the Big East, because there's no easy road game. But how important it is to take care of the business at home. And only 6-4 here at the Convocation Center. He said that frustrates him. Those 4 losses at home, they should be much better at home than what they are.
Yeah, I mean, and the potential to potentially end off 10-4 and end off the season strong and be potentially within the top 5 or 6 in the CAA. So right now at 11th.
Tough double pump shot by Butler as Struthers had great defense on Drexel's leading scorer, but he comes through again and now has 9.
And Butler's been a constant for a kind of, seems like a disoriented at times Drexel team.
Mullen's got a mismatch on McGee. Here is Smith going down the lane with the right hand and draws contact. And we'll get 2 free throws. They try to work that high pick and roll with Mullen as Blakeney gets called for the foul. Not a lot of free throws in the first half for either team. Hampton only attempted 2 from the stripe, and now Smith, the transfer from the University of Richmond, a 76% shooter before tonight from the stripe.
Yeah, looks, guys may hate me for saying this, but I personally enjoyed the no free throws, or not the little amount of free throws and fouls that we saw in that first half. That may be a controversial take. I'm not sure.
We got 3 good officials, so it was consistent. Not too many errors, you would say, as the armchair official. Ron Groover, Trey Stallions, and Adam Flory, 3 really good officials.
I enjoy when the game just flows. It's not that many stops. I mean, I'm sure the viewer also enjoys because not as many commercial breaks. I mean, there was maybe 2 commercial breaks in the first 9 minutes of the game. So I feel like that's great as a viewer as well, but also great as a commentator just to watch the game flow.
And there's a pretty move there. Wayne Bristol got great positioning and scores his first basket of the game, and it's an 11-point Hampton lead. 3 from the corner is good by Horace Simmons, who checks in for the first time. He had missed the last 7 games for Drexel, but hits his first shot from the corner.
And that's one thing Hampton has to be cautious about. They're really clicking on every cylinder here offensively and doing everything right. But can they sustain that throughout this game? Because Drexel still has the chance here to try to come out of this with a win.
Under 10 to shoot for the Pirates. Here's Bristol. Wayne Bristol has scored the last 4 for Hampton, and they have made their last 5 field goals to push the lead back to double digits. A win for Hampton would tie Drexel in the standings, and a 3-ball from the other corner by Shane Blankney.
And Drexel's going to do everything they can to try to steal this game because, I mean, really Hampton has I won't say they've won this game because there's way too much time left, but they've done everything they can at this moment to win the game. It's a turnover there.
Butler has it, looks to the opposite corner. Here's Simmons again attacking the rim and scoring. With the up and under, Simmons off the bench with 5, the transfer from LaSalle. And it's a 5-point Hampton lead just like that. And now Ivan Thomas will use a timeout as Smith got caught up on the sideline. And it will be a full timeout, it appears, with 11:48 left in regulation. And Hampton's 10-point lead has dwindled down to 5.
Surrounded on 3 sides by water, Hampton University is one of the most beautiful university settings you'll find anywhere. Faculty, staff, and students are making a difference in the global community through service and science. We challenge our students to excel at the highest level. We are the standard of excellence. But most importantly, Hampton University is delivering the #1 student experience in America.
5 postseason teams in 2023-24. Competition top to bottom, night in and night out. The energy, the heart, the hustle. This is CAA Hoops.
The world will change. Drexel University is designed to change with it. By embracing change as the world moves forward, Drexel is constantly learning and evolving, preparing the next generation of leaders able to anticipate and address the challenges of tomorrow, because the future can't wait.
On Flow Sports.
11:48 left in regulation as Hampton, who has led by as many as 12 in this second half, has only led by 5 right now. As we take a look at the hustle stats, fairly even for the most part, except for second chance points. And the bench production for Hampton has gotten a little bit better in the second half. They scored all 7 in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, as you talked about earlier, one of the second in the nation in bench points, getting 7 points from the bench. I mean, is one to say alarming, but it's surprising. But as we talked about before, I mean, there's always kind of context to everything, and really it's because they started a lot of the bench players that they got the points from.
And the starters are back in for Coach Thomas as Goods layup is no good. Gets his own miss and scores. Goods already with 5 rebounds and his first basket of the night, and a 7-point lead for Hampton. Blakeney guarded by Beal. Blakeney inside and scores with the jump hook. He's got 9. He scored 13 in the double overtime loss against Wilmington on Saturday. Drexel back within 5. Farrakhan with the answer, no. Back tap to DJ and a new 20 for the Pirates. And an offensive foul on DJ.
Yeah, easy call there, just a little too physical. Farrakhan called for the ball, but this, you can't just run into a guy and give him a shoulder. So easy call there for the referees, and now Drexel getting another possession. Drexel has been close, kind of silently closing into this lead here. Hampton really needs to be cautious here, offensively and defensively, for these last 10 minutes or so.
Drexel has made their last 4 from the field, now make it 5 from the field. And Damwanyin inside with the jump hook. His first basket of the game, the transfer from South Kent, has given, well, actually Hampton is up within 3. Here's DJ, had his shot blocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Pirates.
Drexel's done everything right about in terms of trying to start a run. Hampton, you know, when they first were kind of scoring and getting to the scoring column, Hampton was answering back. But as you continue to watch this Drexel team, they've continuously gotten the easy points and then turn that into tougher buckets later on. Another tough bucket there from Farrakhan. And Hampton's going to continue to respond, but Drexel, if they continue to get easy shots, they're going to be into this game down the stretch.
Farrakhan and Mullen have scored 28 combined for Hampton of the 48 for the Pirates. And they're back up by 5. Inside 10 minutes left in regulation. Blakeney against Bristol. Tough shot. Blakeney gets his own miss. Fought against Mullen as well as DJ, and it was last touch by Hampton. Checking the last touch by Drexel, and Hampton will get it back. But how about Blakeney fighting against Bristol and also Mullen? Check it was DJ who was going up against.
I mean, yeah, Blakeney's been a big part of Drexel just coming back here. Drexel doesn't have a lot of their, necessarily starting guys in right now, but still fighting back to try to get back into this game and only trailing by 5.
Hampton was able to break the press of Drexel and set it up offensively with 9.5 to go in regulation. Farrakhan hoists up and hits again. A long 2 as called by Ron Groover, the official, and that's 16 for Noah Farrakhan. Vanderhorst on the other end, challenging Farrakhan and scoring with the right hand. Vanderhorst, who did not score in the double overtime loss against the Seahawks, has his first basket to pull Drexel to within 5. Tried to look inside to Mullen, deflected and stolen by Drexel.
And these little mistakes are going to plague this Hampton team down the stretch of this one as Drexel just continuing to make the right plays here offensively and a chance here to make it a single possession game.
Simmons misfires on the 3 and Long with a big rebound. Hampton +7 on the glass tonight. You mentioned that during as our keys to the game. Defending the glass. Great play by McGee with the hands, and on the other end, he'll finish.
And we talked about Farrakhan playing loose and comfortable. We can't be too loose with the ball here, especially down the stretch of this game. Hampton, like I said, Hampton had a 10-point lead, maybe not even 2 to 3 minutes ago, but just kind of I won't even say necessarily careless basketball, but Drexel's done everything right. Because Beal's going to hit the shot there. But despite the fact that they're hitting shots right now, they still have to play up to a standard, or Drexel's going to really push them to end this game.
Lead back to 6 as Beal now has 6. Inside is Hargrove against Mullen. And Cole Hargrove now with 5.
Continuously getting into the paint, continuously just beating the bigs of Hampton inside. And I mean, it's really worked here for this Drexel team. They are not fading away.
Both teams shooting exceptionally well here in this second half as George Beal continues the hot shooting for the Pirates. They are 13 of 19 from the field in this second half. Drexel is 10 of 19 from the field.
It's been a beautiful display of offense we've seen from both of these teams.
Here's Simmons over Long. Saved by Vanderhorst off of Mullen, recovered by Drexel. Vanderhorst with a great play on the baseline to get another possession, and they score off of that second opportunity. Vanderhorst with 4 after being scoreless against UNC Wilmington. Missed the first 10 games of the season with a broken wrist, but has made an impact for Coach Spiker as Drexel is within 4. Long guarded by Simmons, shot clock under 10. They look to Mullen, deflected by Vanderhorst, and he comes up with the steal. Vanderhorst finds Simmons. And we got a whistle away from the play. They're going to get Beal with the foul, his second, and that brings us to a timeout with under 6 minutes left in regulation. Hampton ahead 55-51 on Monumental and on Flow Hoops.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact Milt Rawlis for an auto quote today.
Surrounded on 3 sides by water, Hampton University is one of the most beautiful university settings you'll find anywhere. Faculty, staff, and students are making a difference in the global community through service and science. We challenge our students to excel at the highest level. We are the standard of excellence. But most importantly, Hampton University is delivering the #1 student experience in America.
Being the car crash experts means knowing how to fight the big insurance companies about the cases that happen every day in our community.
Injury law is all that we do. We don't do anything else. We don't do anything but injury work, primarily car crashes.
We say no need to worry because that is the truth.
No need to worry. Call Cooper Hurley.
The car crash experts. 333-3333.
Whether traveling for business or pleasure or other reasons altogether, Norfolk Airport is working non-stop to make your trip an easy one. No matter where you land, life takes off from here. So should you.
In the newest episode of Politics Aside, learn how sports and politics collide in the great state of Maryland. Join Governor Westmore at a Turk's Tailgate hike with Maryland Congressman Jamie Raskin and discuss PG County basketball with Representative Glenn Ivey. Watch the premiere this Monday at 5:30 on Monumental Sports. Pretty entertaining second half, and it's been back and forth between Drexel and Hampton, Kanye.
Yeah, both teams have done a really good job in being able to create shots for themselves. Drexel has done a great job. We were just talking about going into the break was Drexel's ability to continue to just be in the paint. 40 points in the paint now I mean, it's been their ability to play defense. Hampton's made mistakes also that's kept Drexel in this game. But Hampton's also done a really good job. You talk about George Beal. A lot of shot creators on his team, especially with George Beal and Farrakhan. That backcourt makes it difficult for any defense. But Drexel has just continued to get into the paint, be aggressive, and score, and it's kept them in this game.
And they're within 4 on this possession with under 6 minutes to go. Horace Simmons for 3. Long rebound chased down by Beal. He, Farrakhan, and Mullen have combined for 38 of the 55 Hampton points tonight. Beal and Mullen have been 2 guys that have been playing mostly off the bench this season, but got the start tonight as Long is fouled by Hargrove, it appears. And 2 free throws for Xavier Long, the transfer from Canisius, Hampton's leading shot blocker this season.
He's given them some really good minutes defensively, throughout this season and offensively. Really just someone that can be a presence in paint. Also, just an athlete that you can use that can kind of take 1 or 2 steps, be aggressive inside, and take on the other team's big man and able to finish. And that's what you see a lot of times is how this Hampton team uses him off the pick and roll. But defensively, is really where his value is. Really strikes fear into other teams coming into the lane. And then also, as you mentioned, one of their best shot blockers.
But he missed 2 free throws, and now DJ and Hargrove were tied up. The arrow will stay this side with Hampton.
Yeah, not one of their best free throw shooters.
Yeah, 65%, a little less than average. Team shooting 73% from the line. That's 8th best in the CAA this year. Going back to Long, had just 5 points in the game against Northeastern, but did other things, I think, to get the start tonight. He had a career-high 6 assists, had 5 rebounds. He's averaging 6 boards in his last 3 games, over 7 points a game. So he's given them a little bit of everything, and especially on that 3-game road trip in which they went 2-1. Farrakhan misses on the 3. Hargrove with his 4th rebound.
I think Long is just one of those players that really just matches with Coach Thomas's 4 pillars.
And they are?
Energy, effort, enthusiasm, and toughness.
Cayenne gets an A on the 4 pillars. Thomas's 4 pillars.
I wonder if he quizzes them on.
It's probably on a sign in the locker room, I would think. Vanderhorst, a clean look from distance, and McGee with an offensive rebound. Out to Butler for 3. Last touch by Vanderhorst, and Hampton regains possession as Ivan Thomas, a little livid on not boxing out, getting those defensive rebounds. One of the better offensive rebounding teams, not only in the CAA but in the country, is Hampton, where they're 305th in Division I in defensive rebounding. So that's a crazy.
Yeah.
Almost got a turnover, but I think Farrakhan was called for his 2nd. That would have been a possible fast break chance for Hampton. But Farrakhan picked up his 2nd foul. But that was crazy, and that was something that Thomas was like, he still can't believe that wide disparity or discrepancy, you could say.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily sure on what that is, because you have the mentality to get offensive rebounds. Defensive rebounds are the easier ones.
Blakeney with the miss, and Hampton got the defensive rebound on that trip. Inside money time, under 4.5 to go. Hampton trying to move within 8th place of the CAA. Here's Beal for 3, and the rebound to Blakeney. And Thomas didn't like that shot selection.
Yeah, that's a tough one up 4. It's such kind of a pivotal moment of this game.
Hargrove inside. Tough catch. Saved by Drexel. Here's Butler inside. No. And Long yanks down his 8th rebound. Drexel has missed their last 6 from the field. while Hampton is in a scoring drought of nearly 3.5 minutes and a 10-second violation on the Pirates. And that brings us to the under 4 media timeout with 3:39 to go. Hampton ahead 55-51 here on Monumental and on Flow Hoops.
We'd like to thank Hampton alumni.
The world will change. Drexel University is designed to change with it. By embracing change as the world moves forward, Drexel is constantly learning and evolving, preparing the next generation of leaders able to anticipate and address the challenges of tomorrow, because the future can't wait.
Top-level talent. Electric atmospheres. National exposure. Playing tough, playing together, and playing with passion. This is CAA Hoops.
Hello, Hampton University alumni, fans, supporters, and friends. With the ever-changing landscape of intercollegiate athletics, we aim as a department to position our student athletes to stay at the forefront of this change. In this effort, we're thrilled to announce the official launch of the 68 Oak NIL Collective. Named after the iconic Emancipation Oak, this collective is designed to empower our student athletes, allowing them to leverage their name, image, and likeness while staying true to the spirit of Hampton Nation. Join us in making history. Your support of 68 Oak today will be a significant part of Hampton's future in collegiate athletics.
3:39 left in regulation as Hampton leads 55-51. Don't forget, CAA Hoops returns to the district to crown a new conference champion with hardware and history on the line. You won't want to miss the 2025 Jersey Mike's CAA Men's Basketball Championship. Tickets are on sale right now at caasports.com/MBB. Who will cut the nets down this year? The defending champ Charleston in that mix for a possible either double bye or the #1 seed. They made the tournament last year, trying to get back for the second year in a row. Drexel has not been in the tournament since the 2020-21 season. Remember, all of those games were in the bubble in Indianapolis. And it's been some time for Hampton's last appearance in the dance. That's going to go back to 2016 when they also won the MEAC championship as a member of their conference, the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference.
And it's been a while since they've been in the MEAC.
Who will be able to cut the nets down? This game could be a big reason why one of these will have maybe a long run in DC. Right. Hargrove stepping out and hitting. Hargrove came in just 5 of 28 from 3 this season. And it's a 1-point Hampton lead as we're inside 3.5 minutes. DJ close to that midcourt stripe, almost a backcourt.
And Hampton has to take care of the ball. He has to get a good shot here.
Struthers with a strong move. And Blakeney the rebound as Drexel now with a chance to take the lead for the first time in this half. Trailed by as many as 11 in the second half. Here is Butler for 3. Farrakhan and Hargrove tied up and wouldn't let go. The arrow is going to favor Drexel.
There's still a big play there from Hampton. Not give up the offensive rebound there. Hargrove could have easily gotten the rebound and finish there, but Farrakhan fought for it. Now gives Hampton a chance to reset up their defense. And a bit of a rough stretch here offensively. defensively just gave up a big three, and now have to figure out something defensively with 20 seconds on the shot clock here, not give up your lead.
Drexel's last lead was with 24 seconds to go in the first half, 26-25. Hampton has led throughout this second half, but on the verge of giving up this lead if Drexel can score on the possession. Hampton in a scoring drought of nearly 5 minutes. Here's Butler off of the Hargrove screen and scores off the window. And a timeout by Coach Spiker. As Drexel has come back from down 11 in this half to take their first lead since 24 seconds left in the first half.
And Drexel, I mean, you have to give them credit where credit is due. They've been very intentional. I mean, they not necessarily have played the best here in the second half. They played really well, but haven't played their best game here. But just been very consistent and intentional about where they're getting a point. Consistently going to the rim. This is being aggressive and being physical at the rim, and that's what's giving them this lead.
They went with that high screen and roll, using Hargrove as a screen. Go right at Mullen, and a beautiful design play by Drexel to take the lead. A 7-0 run for the Dragons to take their first lead of this second half. What Hampton has to do on this offensive set?
Hampton really has to get a really good offensive set here, whether it's off the high pick and roll, but they'll let their guards play, but it can't be a let their guards play situation where they're taking a tough shot. It has to be where they let them, especially someone like Farrakhan who can get to whatever spot he really wants on the court. Let him get to a spot where he wants, get a good shot off, and then take the lead and come back on defense and have a solid possession there.
DJ is back in on this set along with Mullen, Beal, Farrakhan, and also Long. Butler, Blakeney, McGee, Vanderhorst, and Hargrove, the 5 for Drexel. They're on a 7-0 run over the last 4.5 minutes to take a 1-point lead. Farrakhan on the drive with the high arcing scoop. Mullen, an offensive rebound, blocked away by Butler. And we've got a foul that's going to stay on this end as Vanderhorst is called for the foul.
Yeah, big hustle there for Farrakhan to keep it alive here for Hampton. Had the layup, just didn't go for him. Mullen got the rebound. Good putback there, but just a race here by a Drexel team that's done a really good job defending inside over these last 5-10 minutes or so.
Hampton this year 10-2 when they were leading at the half. They led by 1 at the break. DJ gives Hampton the lead. His first basket of the night. He was 0 of 5 from the field. Vanderhorst on the other end. Mullen yanks down his 10th rebound and has his 5th double-double of the season.
And that's a big play there defensively from Mullen. He gave up that layup a little bit earlier. Drexel took the lead, and now you make a big defensive stop. Now put your team with a chance to maybe extend your lead a bit, give you some comfortability with just under 1:30 to go.
Now they work their high screen and roll, and Drexel is called for the foul. Only the Dragons' 4th team foul. Hargrove picked up his 2nd. You wonder who gets the shot here on this possession. You got 2 scorers that have played well tonight. Farrakhan with 16, Mullen with 14 and 10. Beal is on the bench with his 8 points.
I think it's going to start here with Farrakhan. Makes sense to run another high screen and roll here. Just give him a chance to get a bucket.
They look to Struthers, and now Farrakhan will work some clock. 10 to shoot for the Pirates. Farrakhan for 3, got it. Check it, it's a long 2, and they will review to see if it is a 2 or a 3. But as it currently stands, it's a 2-point basket for Noah Farrakhan with now 18 on the night.
Another big shot there, but this is a score we saw at times at like Eastern Michigan when he played there, this was a score of Noah Farrakhan that we saw. Looks like that's going to be a 2. But,
Yeah.
I mean, regardless, gives Hampton the comfortability and lead that they needed after, they've struggled to keep a lead throughout this last few minutes. But now it's going to go back to defense. What can they do defensively?
Trey Styons and Ron Groover over at the DB Sports replay.
On the floor has been confirmed. 2-point basket.
And it's official by Trey Styles that the 2-point basket is confirmed. His foot was clearly on the line as we saw it on the replay. So it remains a 3-point Hampton lead. Farrakhan now with 18 points on the night, coming off a 28-point performance against Northeastern. And if my math is right, and I'm not a math major, that is 46 points in his last 2 games, 23 a night, the average.
And, I mean, it all goes back to just, it looks like he is a lot more comfortable within the offense. It looks like he's been acclimated within the offense. And because of that, he's just been able to be the Noah Farrakhan that we've known over his college career.
He was averaging 18 points in his last 3 games on that road trip and was shooting 62% from the field and 58% from 3. Blakeney inside, challenging long and scoring again in the paint, now with 11. And now Drexel will call a timeout with 52.5 seconds left as Hampton is up 1.
Look at the play there. Looks like just some confusion there after that. Looked like a dribble handoff to start off, and then just some movement. Able to get past Struthers, and then Long supposed to help there. A little bit late on the help. Gives Blakeney the time to get the layup off, and now Drexel back down 1, and they now needs to stop with plenty of time. Doesn't have to go for a Hail Mary defensive play, just has to be solid defensively. They have a chance to win the game.
Another review. I don't know if it's trying to see how much time was left on the clock or not. But we're going to find out from Trey.
After review, the clock's been reset to 53.3.
They checked the clock situation, so it's now 53.5 seconds left. Put 1 extra second on the clock.
And that 1 extra second can always be used, especially in college.
All right, so you're Ivan Thomas in your huddle for Hampton. What are you telling your team?
Patience offensively. Don't try to win the game on 1 play. Look for the right shot. Don't force a shot if you don't have to. Of course, when it comes late in the shot, I would also have some kind of late in the shot clock plan, because more than likely this is going to be an offensive possession that goes late into the shot clock.
53.3 seconds to go. Long will inbound for Hampton with DJ, Mullen, Struthers, and Farrakhan on the floor for the Pirates. Try to get the ball out of the hands of Farrakhan, which they did. The double comes by Drexel, and now a foul by the Dragons.
Yeah, got fortunate there.
That was a dangerous spot for Long to be underneath Drexel's goal. But remember, Drexel is not in the penalty. That's only the 5th team foul for the Dragons with 46 to go. But the key in this instance, it is not an inbound where Hampton can run or roam. They have a spot inbound here. And they give to Farrakhan in the corner. And Coach Thomas uses his timeout, which will give him 1 left with 43.3 seconds to go. As soon as he saw Farrakhan go in that coffin corner, he used that timeout.
Yeah, in that time, I'm not sure exactly how we look at the conference standings here.
Big game, like we mentioned earlier, big game for Hampton. They're currently tied for 11th in the standings with Hofstra. A win, depending on what Northeastern and Delaware does this later tonight and also the weekend, they can get up to 8th by the end of the night.
And I mean, that's a huge move just because you're not playing that first day. You get basically an extra day of rest and 1 less game, which can be huge, especially going to March. But sometimes it helps teams to play on that first day because, you
get
kind of get in that
acclimated with
rhythm.
the arena.
Right.
Yep, absolutely.
A lot of teams are coming off maybe a week or so break, maybe a little bit rusty, so playing that first game can be either a big help or a big hurt.
We saw that in the college football playoff. Remember, the 4 teams that had the bye all lost their first game. The teams that played the week before all won in advance. So you never know. In an environment like DC, win or go home, maybe you want to play that day where everybody else get the bye. Get the like I said, get the rhythm. They get acclimated to the setting, the surroundings, the backdrop, which is going to be a little bit different than what you may be used to at home.
I believe we also saw that in the ACC tournament with NC State. I believe they played on that first day and played and won the rest of the tournament.
On their run to the Final Four.
Right.
Coach Spiker is saying since that play happened near their corner, that it should be an inbounds close to their corner. And he's talking to Trey Styons about that. So instead of the inbound near the bench of Drexel, they're going to inbound from the baseline. And now Coach Ivan Thomas is trying to get that explanation from Ron Groover. Styons was trying to draw an imaginary line, an imaginary diagonal line on that last trip as to where the timeout happened and now where the inbound will occur.
It looks like they're still figuring out where the inbound will occur, which actually is going to be a very important call because Southern Hampton got trapped in the corner out of that underneath inbound twice and got lucky with a foul and a timeout, but I mean, Hampton can't be, luck doesn't last that long. I'm not sure they can last a third time here. Really need to be efficient here with whatever press break or whatever press that they, whatever play that they have to break this press coming out of the timeout.
And I think they were going to the official scorebook because Lex Schaefer, Hampton's sports information director, was talking to one of Drexel's assistant coaches about the timeout situation to see how many timeouts Hampton actually had. Maybe Drexel thought they had no more timeouts left, but Hampton does have one remaining. And Coach Spiker is now talking to his SID about the situation, but I believe it was about a timeout, and it is one left for Hampton. And the inbound from Farrakhan from the baseline. Dangerous inbound. Farrakhan breaks the press. And now Hampton will run some clock. Spiker wants them to use the foul, and they just did with 33.5 seconds to go. That's Drexel's last foul to give. The next one will send Hampton to the line for a 1-and-1.
And, I mean, no reason to put this Hampton team on the line here with another foul. 13.5 second differential between shot and game clock. Plenty of time for Drexel to make something happen here. They can get something defensively.
Farrakhan broke the double team as Drexel thought they could get a jump ball. But instead, Farrakhan is going to go to the line and shoot a 1-and-1 as McGee is whistled for a second.
That was a risky play there because Farrakhan could have lost that trying to battle it out for the ball there on that near jump ball. I believe Hampton had the possession arrow. Oh, actually, it was Drexel had possession arrow. So, yeah, well, actually, then it changes my point where he had to fight for the ball there as to keep the possession alive.
Farrakhan with 18 points at the line and missed the front end of a 1-and-1 and last touched by Xavier Long. And Drexel now with a chance to win it. Shot clock is now off with 26.8 seconds to go. Drexel can hold it for the last shot and win it on the last possession.
Yeah, puts Hampton in a tough position because they're only up by 1, so any score wins it. Can't really foul them because it gives them the potential to potentially take the lead here. So really just have to stick it out on defense and live with whatever happens.
Hampton does have one more foul to give. They have 5 team fouls. Remember, Drexel is in the bonus. as they have 17 fouls. Under 20 seconds to go. Is Blakeney with the shot. Mullen the rebound, and Blakeney the foul.
That's an interesting play there. Blakeney going to be aggressive and try to, instead of holding for the last shot, try to take on early. But that's another strategy because, if you miss, gives you another chance here to get a chance on offense.
But it's still a 1-and-1 for Hampton with 14.6 seconds to go. Even if Mullen makes both, it is a one-possession game.
And Mullen, if you're a Drexel fan, not the worst guy at the free throw line that you would want.
53% shooter from the stripe.
I will say over his time here, he's been a clutch free throw. He might not be the best free throw shooter percentage-wise, but in the clutch, he's someone that can be pretty reliable at the free throw line.
He didn't look like a 53% shooter on that first attempt.
And shot it with confidence.
One more. 2 big free throws. And now Drexel with a chance to tie with 10 seconds to go. And Coach Spiker will use his last timeout with 10.5 seconds to go. Down by 3. And Hampton has that foul to give in their hip pocket.
Yeah, going to be interesting. I see how they use it here because, they could use it right out the gate, but I would probably let maybe, Drexel's not going anywhere. Maybe with, 4 to 5 seconds left, foul them. But that also could give them an opportunity to try to make something happen out of the inbound. So, it makes it tough. It is a luxury to have, but depends on how you use it. That was a big play there. Defensively, Mullen gets fouled, but as you mentioned, that shot, missing that shot gave them another chance at offense. So that they, if he shot that shot with 3 seconds left, that's game over. But now gives them an opportunity here to try to tie the game here.
Maybe surprised that Blakeney actually took the shot as opposed to maybe Butler or Drake, a couple of your top scorers. But Blakeney had played well tonight, as he has 11 points in 27 minutes. But like you said, with them taking it early, as they did, it allowed them to use the foul. Mullen did convert the free throws, but you still got plenty of time to get a 3, or do you kind of stretch it a little bit and say, let's take the quick 2, see if they can do it again at the line, and come back with one more possession with a timeout left. Actually, they're out of timeouts. I check it. 0 timeouts remaining for Drexel. Hampton has a timeout and a foul to give.
And I don't necessarily think if they can get a really, really quick 2, why not take it? This is a Hampton team that struggled to inbound the ball. Just maybe not 2 or 3 minutes ago where they, got bailed out by a foul and then got bailed out by a timeout on, what could have been a jump ball. So either way, I think Drexel can put themselves in a good position to win this game. But first, they have to get a bucket here regardless, whether it's 2 or 3.
And it will be very interesting to see when Hampton will burn that foul. Like you said, do you burn it quick or do you burn it late? The inbound to Blakeney. Here's McGee for the tie. The rebound to Mullen. And Simmons draws the foul with 4.2 seconds to go. 1 make free throw. That first free throw is going to be big for Kyrese Mullen.
And that's an interesting play coming out of the timeout just because that's a tough shot from McGee. A long 3 with a guy, not necessarily in his face, but slightly contesting him and still has to get it, and just comes up a little bit short.
He's 4th in the country in 3-point percentage before tonight. He was shooting 46%. So in that situation, the ball was in the right hands of Drexel. But like you said, it was good defense by Hampton and forced a tough shot. Mullen made his last 2 from the stripe. And that's the big one because that makes it a 2-possession lead with 4.2 seconds to go. And a huge night for Kyrese Mullen. 17 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists for Mullen. Now with 18. And that might have iced it. No foul by Hampton. Long 3 by Drake, no good. And Hampton gets the win after losing an 11-point second half lead. They come back and knock off Drexel 63-58. For those on Monumental Sports, we will say so long from the Convocation Center. For those who are watching us on Flow Hoops, stay with us because we're going to talk to Coach Ivan Thomas afterwards. But our player of the game, Kyrie Mullen, his 5th double-double of the season, 19th of his career, 18 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists for Kyrie Mullen, our player of the game. Hampton wins it 63-58, the final. We're going to get Coach Thomas to join us right now as the Pirates improve to 13-13.
CAA on Flow Sports.
Hampton University is delivering the #1 student experience in America, surrounded on 3 sides by water. Hampton University is one of the most beautiful university settings you'll find anywhere. From our world-class research centers to our dedication to the arts and our athletic programs where we build leaders and champions, we challenge our students to excel at the highest level. We are the first and only HBCU with 100% control of our NASA satellite mission. The Hampton University Proton Therapy Institute is the largest freestanding proton beam cancer treatment center in the world, where we are easing human misery and saving lives. Hampton University, faculty, staff, and students are making a difference in the global community through service and science. We are the standard of excellence, but most importantly, Hampton University is delivering the #1 student experience in America.
Our post-game show has started here at the Convocation Center with the Hampton Pirates winning it 63-58 over Drexel tonight. Sean Robertson along with Kyan Nickelberry and the head coach of Hampton, Ivan Thomas. You guys earned it tonight.
Absolutely. I'm extremely proud of my young men. We battled. We stuck to a game plan against a very good Drexel team, and we're coming along. We're just coming along. The fight was there. We shot way too many threes, but we did just enough on the defensive end to come out with the victory tonight.
You talked to me this week about defensive rebounds. We have to finish the possession with the defensive rebounds. You out-rebounded them by 10 tonight, and you had more defensive rebounds, 28-23 against Drexel.
Absolutely. That was a focal point of practice all week long, going into this home game stretch, just finishing the defensive possession with a rebound. And it's not enough for us to get the stop, but we got to come up with the final stop and getting the stop, and finish it with a rebound. I was pleased that we limited our turnovers to just 9 single digits. I wish we could have capitalized on a little bit of their turnovers that we forced, but we didn't. But, all in all, I can't have everything, but I got what I wanted, which is the W.
And, Coach, you talk about, kind of 2 guys that really stuck out here today, and Kyrie Small and Noah Farrakhan look very comfortable offensively, which, compared to earlier in the season, just looked very comfortable offensively. It looked like, the players that we saw at the peak of their college careers. What have you guys done as a coaching staff and just as a team to really acclimate them offensively, and how do things continue to progress going forward?
Well, I think the things that we did was we just started playing harder. Like, that's it. We played harder. Part of our, talk today is the solution is you, and they are the solution to the problems we have. And the solution is playing harder. And I think Noah played hard. I thought Reese played hard. You know, when Reese sprints the floor like that, he's a good player. When he buys into rebound like that, he's an awesome player. So the solution is us. You know, we have to play harder in a very good league, or we're not going to come out with home victories. And tonight, my team played extremely hard. So I'm extremely proud of them.
You also mentioned about defending the home court. A good way to start this 4-game homestand was to get a gritty, gutty win, like you said, against a good Drexel team. Absolutely.
You know, it started on the defensive end. I was extremely proud of the way we defended. I just thought, we kind of, gave away some of our defensive intensity, our defensive effort with taking quick, tough threes. And we shot 4 for 21 for 3. I would have liked to get that down to like 13 and take a few more 2s. Because I thought we could get to the basket on these guys.
Well, Coach, we appreciate the time after the game. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
And good luck to you this weekend against Hofstra.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Ivan Thomas joining us here after the game as Hampton takes care of business here at home, 63-58, the final over Drexel. For Kyan Nickelberry and our entire crew, I'm Sean Robertson saying good night. Once again, the final score, Hampton wins it 63-58. Until we talk to you Saturday against Hofstra, we say good night from Hampton.